I made a mistake. I watched a bunch of the other Analog 3D videos that are out there just littering YouTube. Go check them out. They're great. They're super informative. They go very in depth, but now I feel like an extra impetus to say these aren't those. And they never have been, but just again, I'm just some guy. I got an Analog 3D, and this is what I'm gonna do. I like one-stop solutions. I'm that type of guy. I can't tell you about beam convergence or gamma transfer or what interpolation algorithm does what. I had to look all those up just to tell you I couldn't tell you about them. But I can tell you how I'm going to use this device on my channel in the very near future. In fact, I can tell you that right now. So I've got two whole boxes here. One of them is the Analog 3D that I think I got in November after pre-ordering it a little over a year before that anyway. So I sat on this for a while, but I also have the game. Every Tuesday I play a Tetris game. Check it out, Tetris Tuesdays at 10. This is the next Tetris, the new Tetris. I get confused because the next Tetris is also a thing that I've already played. So found one on eBay that was actually nicer than I wanted. Also going to open this after we open this. And I'll still plug it in. We'll see how it looks. At least I won't play it. I will save that for Tuesday. But we can get an idea for what it does right out of the box, because I'm not going to mess with any of the settings. I'll mess with them for Tuesday, but today we're going to keep it simple. So we'll put this one off to the side for now. I'll grab my Milwaukee box cutter here, which it's actually pronounced Milwaukee, and we'll just go to town. And if you don't know this about me already, I am an analog guy. I got the NT Mini, and then actually also got the NT Mini Noir, which was not necessary. But then I sold the Analog NT for at least as much as I bought the Noir for. I did not get this controller. I'm not saying I never will. Actually, I'm saying I probably will. But since on Tetris Tuesdays, I'm trying to stick as close as possible to the original hardware and form factor and control schemes or controllers, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pull out my N64 controllers and plug them in. So I do have the NT Noir. I got the Super NT, I pre-ordered, I think, just about all of these, Pocket included, which is maybe the one now that I use most often. It's the one you've seen in that stream, I'm sure, before. My channel was up and running at that point. So I'm an analog type guy. Our ethos align, more or less, you could say. I buy the box. You know, I love updating firmware, but that's about it. You guys can do the rest. You know, give me the firmware that you've already made it so everything works great. That's our arrangement. With a jailbreak here and there. The Pocket doesn't need it because it's got Open FPGA, which is fantastic, but the NT Noir and I think the Super NT I have are both jailbroken, which I don't know if that's going to be a thing for the 3D. They are pushing I think it's 3DOS? Yes, the Analog 3DOS, which looks great and should be fun, but given how powerful this thing is, how big the FPGA is inside of this, I really hope they open it up. Actually, it has literally been since November since I looked at anything, so maybe it already has been. We'll figure that out. But that's about the bandwidth I have for tinkering. I love everybody that does the other stuff. I will marvel at your misters out there, but I do consciously enjoy the relative comfort of a walled garden. And I think Analog makes beautiful and great walled gardens. So when it comes down to it, I prefer to buy the box. So here's the latest box I've bought. Tack it at the corner here. There we go. We're good. Same matte finish. I want to say that they've all come in so far, at least since the Noir. Let's have a good look pre-fingerprint, because that is also something I noticed on the other videos, that this is not necessarily going to go cleanly into the night. HDMI cable, which I won't need. I've got plenty of those 4K types included. And I can probably say the same for the USB-C cable here, although I don't know what kind of power delivery we're working with. So, oh, there's the silica. So I may at the very least be using the wall plug here. And speaking of power delivery, if it does say on the plug itself, I've become too old to tell you about it. So here is the actual device, and we will do away with the box. Nothing in there. Oh, there is one more thing underneath. Hold on. Paperwork? Oh, cartridge cleaner even. Look at that. What's in the envelope? FPGA sticker and analog sticker. I have so many stickers. I've not stuck a sticker for decades, and they're all in a bag up in my closet. Is that a video people would be interested in? Doesn't matter. And lastly, it's a little, looks like quick start guide for pairing controllers, which it does have Bluetooth built in, so when I do splurge on those 8-bit DOE N64 types. So that is that. Let's get the console back in here. I don't have a bad thing to say about the design of any analog device, and that is honestly not changing with this one. It's actually not, I haven't left a fingerprint on it yet. So that's that. Let's see what the Tetris game looks like from unknown seller on eBay. And again, I went overboard, I guess. When buying used games, I've noticed, if you just want the cart, it seems like you're sometimes in the minority. Because I couldn't find for the life of me, at least from a reputable or somebody I felt was reputable enough of a seller for just the cart. So I don't know if this was good or bad, but I ended up with something that I think comes in the original packaging, may have the manual as well. Comes packed with peanuts. Okay, I'm just diving in then here. Yeah, the original box even. Okay, there's nothing else in there. And I'm guessing because, I don't know if you would say this is in demand, and that's why I couldn't find it, or just the type I wanted, but I didn't own this myself, which isn't saying much because I didn't own many video games, period. But yeah, at this time in my life, I should say, N64 games especially. Looks good. And yeah, that's it. So not much to it necessarily. Let's, I guess at this point, plug it in, see what the menu screen looks like. So I did have to update the firmware, speaking of, so that was a blast, but here we are with just a few button presses in to the menu. Uh-oh, I'm gonna dox myself here. I live in the United States. Okay, I think we can skip through some of this. What if I set this up later? My analog is ready. It does come with some hotkeys. Again, just using the good old fashioned here. I didn't have it in like N64 purple, but so it reads the title of the cart. Then let's just key right into it, like I said. Oh, did they? Is that some CRT emulation right out of the box? Seems to be playing flawlessly. Am I in space? I've never played this before. Yeah, they definitely left the CRT emulation on by default. It's coming in at 4K 60 right off the bat, so I might have made this video in 24 frames, so you won't necessarily see all of that, but in fact, it might look worse, but from what I'm seeing, this Tetris game that somehow uses Egyptian... Every Tetris intro is different and fantastic in its own right, but you kind of never know what theme they're gonna go with. Yeah, I'm gonna say they went full on Egyptian pyramids with this one. Looks great. I hope that's coming across, but you're gonna have to wait till Tuesday to see the rest of it. So thanks for hanging out. I know there wasn't much to that, but come back on Tuesday, like I said, and every Tuesday at 10 a.m. when I pick up a new Tetris and see how it goes. So we'll see you then.